Hello, everyone. Hello, sex workers. Hello, other civilians. Welcome to our webinar number 11. We made it this far. We're in double digits now. We're really proud of ourselves. So today we are going to talk very briefly about 10-minute bills. Why are we talking about this, you ask? So here's why. A month ago, Dame Diana Johnson MP presented a 10-minute bill at Westminster Parliament. If you're a sex worker and you are following politics in any way, you have probably heard about it, and you may or may not be worried about what this means to you. So we decided to make a little series of webinars, 10 minutes or shorter, telling you more about the bill and the situation around it. So today we are going to talk about what 10-minute bills even are. If you're a migrant sex worker, or if you're really not into politics, you might not even know what this means, what these bills involve, and how they proceed. So you may actually be worried where you shouldn't be. Next week, we're going to talk about what this specific bill, the Sexual Exploitation Bill, actually includes. And should it become law, what consequences would it have for us? The week after that, we are going to talk about why this bill is even there. Because obviously, on the 9th of December, a lot of us were sitting there in front of our phones, looking at Twitter going, why is this happening to me? So this is what we will be talking about. And finally, after that, we are going to put together a little webinar where we tell you what we can all do to fight this bill. But for now, just so you know, this bill is about to get its second reading on the 5th of February, which is very soon. And let's see what happens afterwards.
Okay, so we'll start off really basic. What is a 10-minute bill? So any MP on the backbench can make a 10-minute speech, basically making their case for any new bill. So they make their case, and then an opposing speech may also be made before the House decides whether or not the bill should be introduced for further debate. If this is successful, then the bill is taken to have had its first reading. So this is the point where we are now with this sexual exploitation bill. This is all that has happened so far. They've set the second reading, but so far all that's happened is they've made a speech. We've had another opposing speech, and that's everything. You're up to date. So a private member's bill is a public bill introduced by MPs and Lords who are not already government ministers. So their purpose is to change the law, essentially, as it applies to the general population. As a general rule, not many private members' bills become law as they are, but they can be used quite frequently to create publicity around an issue. And so they can affect legislation indirectly in that way by getting people sort of riled up and interested in the topic itself. So that's what you need to know so far about 10-minute bills. We're going to go through some of the stages now. I'll pass you on.
So for the various stages of a bill, or the passage of a bill that starts in the House of Commons, like this 10-minute bill, it's not like, we don't want to bore you with the exact stages and what exactly happens in which stage and how long they are apart from each other. Basically, what is important is that this bill, as we've just heard, has just passed the first reading. So there's various stages to come. There's various things that will have to happen for it to come into law. Also, as we've just heard, it's not actually that likely that a 10-minute bill will become law just as it is. There's also many places where it could be amended. So basically what as we've just heard, we've got the first reading, but the second reading is about to come on the 5th of February, where the first actual debate will happen. So all MPs can debate and like make their case for or against the bill. And if it passes this second reading, then it will go into the committee stage where like all the members that are part of the committee, it's usually the public bill committee, can like talk about it and amend it and like technically change it up completely, make a completely different law out of it with all of the amendments, and then it will be voted on in the committee stage just by MPs who are members of that committee, to then go into the report stage where all MPs can make amendments on the floor. So it can be completely changed again, and then it will be voted upon again, and then usually immediately after the report stage, the third reading will give them a final chance to debate the entire bill, the amended bill then, and then it will go to the House of Lords, where basically more or less the same process begins again. So there's also first reading, second reading, and then like the 2 stages, and a third reading, and like a kind of a finished reading. This is very similar to what happens in the House of Commons, and it's just the Lords, which is obviously like a bit of a different house, which with a bit of different like expertise and stuff. It then goes back to the House of Commons, and this is called the consideration of amendments, where like a ping pong can happen, where basically just jumps like because of all of the amendments, and because both houses must agree on the exact wording of the bill, then it can technically go back and forth for weeks or months even. But yeah, that would be like the exact last stage where like still amendments can happen, and then they will agree on the exact wording. And then bizarrely, the Queen also has to agree to the bill, but that today is only like a formality, and that's only like then it will be given off to the government ministry that will have to deal with like the execution and like implementing it in practice. So basically there's lots of stages to come, there's lots of amendments that could happen, and it's a long process, and we're at the very, very beginning of it.
Marvelous. That's it. That's all you need to know right now about what a 10-minute bill is, how it goes through Parliament, how it comes into law. That is all of the information we have to give you today. We still have food vouchers available if you are struggling to put food on the table. Our Mug Meals campaign is also still ongoing, so if you'd like to donate to that and become one of our chefs, that will be in the description. We've also got our new online live chat at the hours shown on screen. If you have any troubles, anything you want to talk to us about, if you're not sure where to go, we can also help signpost you to the most relevant organisation. Yeah, I think that covers it for today. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good time.